What's up guys, we got another lesson going on today. We're going to talk about Python variables and comments. We're going to look at Python text concatenate, if I said that correctly. And we're going to look at Python as a calculator itself. Now we've already looked at variables once already, but we're going to go in a bit more detail. We're going to look at the comments, how to add comments and why it's important. And we're going to look at this text, in fact variable concatenation is called. Okay. Now as you know, Python or programming was actually developed for literally calculating. Okay, so let's get started. Now what we want to do, we want to be able to create a piece of code. So let's just say we want to store the name of someone, so the name can be Harry, right? So we've stored someone's name, and then we're going to store perhaps they wear socks, so we're gonna say they wear socks, for example, true. So now this is a boolean. Okay, so they wear socks that are true, and we're gonna add in, actually just above that, we're gonna add in their surname. Okay, so something like that, Harry I don't know, Jones. Okay, so Indiana Jones. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to be able to add these two variables together. So what you'll have is print name, for example, and then you'll have comma, and then you'll add a surname, then close bracket. Now what that will do, it should add those two together. So if we run this F5, okay, right, so you can see it's got Harry Jones. So there's another way of doing this as well, something that you might pick up in programming as well. It's a plus sign as well. Now what you'll notice when you do this one, when you put a plus sign in between, then you run that, you're gonna see that the names are joined together. So what usually happens, put another plus sign in there, and then put a speech mark, and add remove that plus, another plus sign to this side, okay, to the surname. Okay, so now we are literally concatenating these two variables, and then we run it together like that. So you might have like a little program coming up with, say hello, how are you? So let's just take it in input. So for example, remember we learned about import, hey, what's your name, what's thy name? I'll just keep it simple, close the bracket, and then what we want to do, we want to say hello. So we'll add a little bit of a text here. So hi, and then we space, you need a little bit of a space, close the speech marks, comma, and then you add in the name. Now you should see it should, the printout here should say hi wherever we type in. So let's just have a go at that. So the computer, as you can see here, what's thy name is asking you. We could program that a little bit better if you like, put space in then a question mark, but just for example's sake. So let's just say name is John. We run that, press enter, takes in that import. As you can see, what's happening here, we've got hi John. Now there's a reason there's a big gap there, because we actually did not need this. The comma here actually adds that automatic. So when we run that again, something that's a type in this time, type in John, say hi John. Now what you want to do with comments, now comments are very important. This is really important that you add this. In programming, you want to say what's going on, because someone else might take over at some point and they would need to know what this is doing. So this is basically not being read by the computer. So this prints out the name along with the text. Okay, you can see there's a hashtag just before it. Now whenever you put a hashtag just before it, what ends up happening, this here does not read by, you would not get any syntax errors. So remember, with programming, you need to make sure that there's the correct syntax. Okay, so there's an end bracket here that needs to be there. Otherwise, if you run this, see, I'll run it now, it'll end up down here. That I run that now, F5, see, it will end up crashing. Okay, so there is no end bracket here. Okay, so this here would be ignored. If I run that now, the whole comment will literally be. So again, I'll turn around, right, say hi. No, I'm finding it, John again. Hi, John. Right, the reason why we had this value here, a boolean value, remember you could have different information being stored, and these are different data types. So temperature, I don't know, with the COVID situation, let's just say it's 40.0. Now these are all different data types. So this one here will be stored as a string. This one is a boolean, either true or false. The person does wear socks. This is going to be an integer, the age 16. Temperature is going to be a float. It's a real value which has a decimal in there. Now you could print out something like this. Print, for example, name and comma. Okay, so let me just write this again. It's true. It's, then close that and put comma, socks in here, comma, open bracket, wears socks. Okay, so something like that. You should see it printing out. And even if I change that value, so let's close that bracket, run that again. Something as that. So let's just say Amy, run that. Hi Amy, it's true, wear socks. True. You could have here name, wear socks. So that should actually prove that a little bit better. So run that again. Again, with coding, you have to do a bit of trial and error. So let's just say whoever's watching this, if you write in the comment box, and I'll try to use your name next time. Jay, run that. Hi Jay, it's true, Jay wears socks. So as simple as that. One of the other things that you must understand is that Python or even programming was built to calculate. Now whenever you run if I said 5 plus 5, you'll see when I run this the answer. This is pretty much a calculator, built-in calculator. Now you could, there's a lot more to this that you can do. Like for example, we're not going to get there yet. We're going to look at loops and things like that. The whole reason programming came out was to solve equations. So we could put these in a variable. So for example, variable 1, 100, variable 2, for example, and you could have print var 1 times var 2, and again you could use either the answer is 200. You could use this for various reasons. Now obviously to divide, so you could do something like this as well. Print let's just again, well, I'm advising you to do as well. So here divide, there, plus, then finally the next one minus. Okay, so these are your usual values. So if we run that, a 5 over here, then you should see okay, that's times, that's a divide, that's adding, and that's minusing. Something that's very useful is text manipulation. Okay, so text manipulation. Now this here, what ends up happening is that we could take a piece of text. So for example, var 1, let's just say Tony Stark, for example, and we want to be able to, I don't know, print out the first letter of Tony, T. Okay, so you could have something like this, print var 1, and you got the square brackets open, put the 1 in, so we want to get that first value, actually 0, and there's something I'm going to explain in a second. Then close that, and then close that, and then run that. Hopefully it works good. But if we run that, F5, oh sorry, comment that out again. Right, so you can see that it's printed out T, which is Tony. Now there's a reason why it's 0 that you add here, is because in programming it starts, this is something that you'll get used to slowly, when it comes to lists or arrays that we're going to come across, everything starts with a 0, not 1, strangely. So if we wanted to get O, for example, the letter O, so we'll type in 1, and then we'll run this, and then you'll see that it will give me O. So for example, this is, we haven't got no examples yet where we want to use it at the moment, but there's going to be a point where this becomes quite important, where we want to take the first value. Say for example we want to create a username and we want to put it in a variable. So what you could do, you could put in say username for example, then it will literally take the first letter of that variable, and then you need to add further variables as well. So for example us in there, and you could add in, for example, say we want to take in the fourth character maybe, which is the fifth here, and then we want to print that out. And this is how it usually works. Should hopefully see printing out 2 letters. Oh, it's only got the 1. I think we need to use, this is, I think it's grab the space there. This is that, so we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want that one, we want probably, let's just say 0, 5 this time, and we should this time hopefully see T and S. So we could get various information out of that. Something else you can do is also, it's called splicing. So if we put in a double colon in there, we should get all the values from 0, 5. You know, we're going to add it to this username. Let's hope this works. F5 again. Oh, well, I forgot to take out these square brackets, then hopefully that should work. So you can see it's taken out only Tony. So if I was to increase that 7 for example, run that, giving me the first 8 characters up to that is, so let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, first 7 characters. We're also able to see the length of how many characters are in here. There's this thing, what you could do is print, I'm going to take these, let's get rid of that slicing. So we could do print up here, bar, len, bracket here, len, open bracket. Now we need to have another len here, so I mean another bracket, end bracket. So we've got one for the len, one for the print, and that would give us how many characters, including the space, are within this particular variable. So let's run that. How many characters are in there? 10. So there's 10 characters. Even if we remove one, just to prove that it does actually count the number of characters, you see it's 9 now. Splicing is a massive topic in itself. There's various things you can do. It's best to try and Google some of the things that you want to do. So for example, if we wanted to just uppercase, put all of them in upper cases instead of lower cases, so what you can do, so you can say print open bracket var1 dot upper, and that's a function that's already available, and then close that bracket, and what ends up happening, hopefully, let's run that, and these are something not quite right there. Actually missed to open and close brackets. So if I try running that again, you should see that all of it is case now. See, okay, so that's something. For example, what ends up happening, especially when it comes to coding for for corporate, for example, industry, someone might type in their name with a lowercase, and you want to make sure you have a first and uppercase and the surnames are uppercase as well at the beginning. That's where you come up with something like this. Or you might have some people that are typing in a username and they're using uppercases, for example. You want to put it into lowercase. So what you can do is use this other function. You'll notice that lower, close bracket, print. So someone types in their username, they don't realize that they're typing in capital letters, for example. You run that, and what you get is, look, all of them are lowercase, uppercase, number of characters. Now all of this stuff you could actually pick up off Python itself, or even various websites. I think what the main aspect of this kind of coding is, I'm going to try and show you how to solve various problems. For example, if we only wanted to store username and password, for example, how would we solve this problem? That's a very simple problem, really, and then we'll work out how to solve these. And these are the kind of problems you'll get in industry, and you'll get in your education, if you like, in school. So please, again, watch the next video. Please do subscribe, share, and like. See you soon.